It is ironic that a quarry which just a few years ago produced 750,000 tonnes of aggregates a year is now on course to become a jewel of the Yorkshire Dales National Park. It is only in the past 2 years that it has been handed over to nature for conservation and to the community for heritage, arts and business uses. But what is surprising here is that a conscious decision was taken not to fill, soil and seed the bare surfaces.
Originally, much of the quarry was going to be turned over to agriculture, but Natural England advised us that best conservation practice in an area of high biodiversity like Wharfdale is really just to let nature do what it does best and to succeed over time. This quarry will become green, we just have to be patient. Much of the habitat here is very established with woodland, calcareous grassland and so on. We have contributed to that by planting up more woodland and creating new natural habitat areas. Some of them will take time to develop. That is the joy of looking at progress at this site over the future years.
But it isn't all about nature. The community and tourists alike will also enjoy this special place. The Thresfield Quarry Development Trust is aiming to capitalise on the old lime kilns and industrial railway to create a place where local people can set up businesses, and visitors can enjoy the site's heritage as well as its spectacular views across the national park.
We have a vision for the future of this part of the quarry, which involves the local community and involves the wider community of visitors to the national park. And it's all about helping people to understand, appreciate and value the fantastic landscape that there is around the quarry and within the quarry. We have a very strong and a very good working relationship with Lafarge Tarmac. They've helped us throughout the evolution of this project. One of their employees is a trustee on our board, and we really do value the contribution that they've made. They've been fantastic.
Hanson's Pateley Bridge Quarry on the southern edge of the Yorkshire Dales is undoubtedly the scene of one of the most innovative of all restorations. While the screening bank created by the company has an important role to play in helping to hide the quarry from public viewpoints in the area, the sculpture that has been built upon it actually opens up the drama of the workings for those who choose to go there. From the viewing platforms provided by the sculpture, you can see how the landscape has been shaped by centuries of agriculture, quarrying and mining, and you can look down into today's Pateley Bridge Quarry. So how did the idea of turning a large quarry into a tourist attraction come about?
Well, I think we've always been proud of what we do here, and showing people what we're doing and what quarrying doing is, I think, is always a worthwhile thing. And it's become almost accidentally a tourist attraction. It wasn't designed as a tourist attraction, just a place to show people the quarry in a safe manner.
But how has the community reacted?
Initially they were quite sceptical about it, but nearly everybody, certainly by the time we finished, are absolutely overwhelmed with it. I've had people who come up and who disagreed with it right from the beginning, but once the final product's done, I've been totally behind it.
Hanson responds willingly to schools and other groups who want to take a closer look at the quarry itself, and back on the screening bank, a legion of wildlife welcomes the new grassland, ponds and marsh. Located on the edge of the New Forest, Ibsley is not just a superb restoration in its own right, but part of a much-acclaimed wider network along the Avon Valley north of Ringwood. But before it could achieve that, there was one other challenge facing Lafarge Tarmac when it took over the sand and gravel site in 2000. Quarrying had started 9 years previously against the backdrop of a fiercely opposed permission won at appeal. If it was to succeed in working and restoring the site, the company first had to build a better relationship with its neighbours. It did that by establishing a vibrant liaison group that went on to contribute significantly to subsequent changes in the restoration strategy. The previously approved agricultural end use that necessitated major infilling gave way instead to conservation. What has emerged from the change in direction is a site that has open water, reed beds, wet woodland, hedges, ponds, and species-rich grassland. It is particularly popular with wildfowl and breeding waders, and with those who love to observe them. The outcome is one that neighbours like Patrick Webster are very happy with.
Oh yes, I'm very happy with it, especially the reeds. The reeds are the best aspect, I think, because they've attracted so many warblers. I hadn't realised there were so many warblers until I got a good pair of hearing aids 3 or 4 years ago, and I heard regularly about 12 pairs, 12 male buntings and sedge warblers singing away.
The outcome is a particular triumph for former site manager Nick Mulholland.
I think the biggest thing is that restoration is so important to our business. I think we get judged on how we leave it, and I think in past years companies have done poor restorations and it's given the business a bad name. So I'm extremely proud and glad that to be able to leave something for eternity, really, for future generations. And I think that is the most important thing that I've learned, you know, that it can change people's perceptions of the business we're in.